are bad VSOs. Okay. The reason why I say that, and I have a particular question for you, Jason, because you were a county VSO, and I'm very interested into how you're going to answer this. But one poor experience with the VSO can completely turn a veteran off from claiming benefits altogether, if not turn them towards other avenues like claims consulting companies, and we won't even go there. You get the point. Okay. Um, my question for you, because you ran an office of county VSOs, I'm very curious to know, and you don't have to say names or places. Did you ever experience a bad VSO that was in your office? How did you handle that? Were they even there in the first place? Did you try and work with that person? I mean, what was that whole situation like, assuming you had one in the first place? So I'm
Right.
very curious as to what you're about to say to this, because that's something that, I think transparency on the VA side, I think we need more transparency on the VSO side as well.
Right. So VSO, okay, so for folks out there, VSO is a confusing acronym or initials anyway. VSO could mean veteran service organizations like your VFW, your American Legion, all that stuff. VSO can also mean veteran service officer, which is the head person of a county, or typically it's going to be the county's efforts to support veterans, and there will be veteran reps underneath them. Kind of like if you were to think of a real estate office, you have a broker and then you have a bunch of realtors underneath them. So as a veteran service officer running an office, so in the state where I did that, there were a lot of veteran service officers running all the different counties. Now, some were very small counties where there was just a veteran service officer and that was it, and they were everything, right? Then there was huge offices where there may be a staff of 30 or 40 people, and then I was kind of in the middle size. Now, some counties, so this is some problems that I see within the veteran service officer kind of world. It's not the same county by county by county. So for example, the DA in every county is the DA. I mean, they have their specific spot within the county. Your librarian is the librarian for the county. They have their specific spot in the hierarchy. Your whoever, right? Social services person has their spot. And it's typically the same hierarchy. Well, veteran service officers tend to be all over the board. In some cases, they're a department head, high level department head meetings with, the sheriff, the DA, the public defender, the, social services, so on and so forth. And then in other counties, they'll be driven way down and live, inside of social services underneath another department within that department, and then buried underneath the aging and adult services, right? So that's one problem. Now, I know that this is a lot to kind of get to the answer that you're looking for, but I think that this is part of it. So what happens is the more constricted you make a veteran service office be, the less they can spread their wings and do what's right for veterans, right? It's my belief that a veteran service officer should be its own freestanding department, equal with all of them throughout the county, to have the liberty to work directly with the county administrative officer, work with the board of supervisors, to be able to do what's right for veterans. Now, when that doesn't happen, you're asking for permission to do things all the time from all these different people that are above you, to get anything done. Now, when it's working directly with a veteran, what happens is that in some cases, a veteran service officer, depending on the office, will elect to, hey, I'm going to run claims. I'm going to spend 3 days a week where I'm taking on claims directly from veterans. And other veteran service officers like, no, I don't do claims. That's the vet reps. I'm out hustling, politicking, shaking hands, trying to get more money into the office, grow the organization, and serve vets. I was the latter. So I reviewed, I looked at, I did some stuff up front, painting the picture, doing like you, Clay, going to TAPS classes,
Mhm.
spreading the word, that type of stuff, doing one-on-one meetings with folks sometimes to give them an overview. Now, a bad VSO could be somebody that you come across, but most likely it's going to be a veteran service representative, a VSR, who is working for the VSO. Now, having a VSR who is bad is kind of a funny thing because, again, it's a people business, and some people, especially veterans for the most part, you are who you are, and you're going to get what you get. This is me, right? And I'm serving you, and either we gel or we don't. I have had some people that worked for me that some veteran clients absolutely loved how they did business, loved how they approached the problem, loved how they took control of the situation and said, here, let me look at all your stuff. Let me tell you what's going on with you. Let me tell you, and verify, of course, but let me get this going. I don't need you to talk much unless I ask you a question, right? Some people love that. Some people want to be heard, right? So there's never, ever, ever been a circumstance where I had one person that was just completely bad or completely good. Funny enough, right? You're going to get weird little nuancy things. And this is what I would tell the client. You're not married to any of the reps. You
Mhm.
can work with whoever you want. If you're not gelling with somebody, we'll reassign you. It's not a big deal. You can work, nobody's feelings are hurt, right? You as a veteran need to find somebody that you connect with. We at my office, we took claims outside of that county as well. We would take claims from anybody who wanted to come work with us. The only time that would ever be an issue is if our wait time became too much for our county, right? For our county residents. So there are some places out there that work that same way. They'll just, we're here to help vets, period, right? And so, all that to say is that you will absolutely run across somebody that you don't jive with, somebody that you don't quite connect with. Take a knee, adjust fire, go at it again. Go with somebody else. Try somebody new. You're not stuck with anybody. Unless, of course, you're in some little small area somewhere where there's only one veteran service officer out there. Well, then you might have to try to find somebody, online or whatever, some sort of wounded warrior project or something that has veteran service, reps or whatever that are doing claims. So that is my most politically correct way of answering that for you, Clay. I hope that was very lackluster, but I wanted to also kind of just paint the landscape of that environment
Mhm.
because it is different county by county by county, and the discretion sometimes lies in the hands of the veteran service officer on how they're going to, obviously run their office or offices. I had several. So, you want to make sure that, you're doing right by the veterans. And I'll tell you this, that, that every office, at least in that state, where everybody was absolutely committed to growing the number of veterans receiving compensation. And what that's called is utilization rate. So, how many veterans are actually utilizing VA compensation? So, it's like a claim shark is incentivized for getting you the highest increase that they can, right? Well, there's some self-preservation in the VSO world, right? If we don't have people coming to the door to file claims, then what are we here for? eventually you'll just shrink up and be nothing. So, just to keep your job, you want to make sure you're helping vets, right? So, any thoughts on any of that, Clay?
I do. First, I like your choice of words when you say claim shark, right? But hey, we'll go ahead and leave
Yeah.
that there.